Erica Stanley, engineering leader, community builder, speaker, and contributor. Code and conscience issue number 4. Code and conscience is my way of thinking out loud with friends. That's you, by the way, about how we as technologists, builders, creators, leaders impact the world around us with what we choose to build and how we build it. In this issue, tech leadership with intention in a new era. The role of CTOs is evolving beyond just tech strategy. It's about making decisions that balance innovation with long-term ethical and sustainable impact. CTO Craft Con highlights. At CTO Craft Con, 2 talks stood out to me for their practical take on often overlooked aspects of leadership. I also share details of my keynote on my bookshelf, a list of 4 important leadership books by some of the most influential tech leaders. They've positively shaped my leadership career, and I highly recommend them. Image, abstract arrow moving in the right-hand direction. Credit, stock, tech leadership with intention in a new era. We're in a pivotal moment, not just for tech, but for leadership. The role of the CTO is shifting from one centered on infrastructure and innovation to one grounded in responsibility, intention, and global citizenship. This evolution isn't a trend, it's a necessity. Being a global citizen means more than being aware of global challenges. It means actively shaping a future where tech works for people, the planet, and profit, not just one at the expense of the others. It's about recognizing that what we build reflects what we value. And now more than ever, we need CTOs who lead with ethics, sustainability, and digital trust at the core. At CTO Craft Con London 2025, I spoke about this transformation. What resonated most in that room wasn't a framework or a tech stack. It was the shared understanding that leadership today is more than outcomes. It's about ownership, not just of systems and strategy, but of the ripple effects our decisions have on communities, environments, and futures. Let's be clear. Ethical leadership is no longer a nice to have. From AI and quantum computing to cloud infrastructure and IoT, every advancement comes with a responsibility to act intentionally. That means building systems that are transparent, inclusive, and just. It means reducing bias in our AI models, minimizing our digital carbon footprint, and strengthening data privacy. Not because compliance demands it, but because integrity does. This brings the triple bottom line concept. People, planet, and profit. We're not balancing trade-offs, we're building alignment. Want to attract top talent? They're looking for purpose. Want customers to trust your brand? Trust is earned through transparency. Want innovation that lasts? It starts with inclusion and ends with impact. As CTOs, we're not just technology architects. We're culture shapers, decision influencers, value setters. And the culture we shape inside our organizations matters just as much as the technology we deploy. At the conference, one theme echoed across sessions and conversations. Leadership is not about having all the answers. It's about creating environments where the right questions can be asked and answered honestly. Spaces where people feel seen, safe, and supported. That's the soil where real innovation grows. The path forward calls for boldness, for reflective leadership that balances urgency with humility, for collaboration that stretches across industries, sectors, and silos, for a commitment to the long game in terms of legacy and profitability. The CTO as a global citizen is not hypothetical. It's the leadership blueprint we need today. Let's lead like the future depends on it, because it does. Subscribe to Code and Conscience. CTO Craft Con is a conference community for tech leaders focused on offering practical insights, networking opportunities, and a supportive environment for learning and growth. Watch my keynote on YouTube. Talks I enjoyed at CTO Craft Con. 1. The CTO Spectrum. Which archetype are you? By Pat Kua. He gave a unique perspective into the different dynamics that drive the shape of the CTO role. He mentioned 8 different CTO archetypes and showed how their roles differ based on business needs. I particularly liked his talk because it gave a new perspective to leadership that I had never seen. 2. The Connective Tissue of Tech. Why Glue Work Deserves Your Attention by Katja Obring. Glue work is critical grunt work that usually remains undervalued and invisible. That's mentoring, documentation, facilitating alignments, etc. This costs the U.S. economy about $2 trillion. Katja shared strategies for recognizing, measuring, and elevating the status of glue work, ensuring it is visible and valued. On my bookshelf. What I'm reading. 1. Engineering Management for the Rest of Us by Sarah Drasner. 2. Executive Engineering by Jack Danger. 3. Staff Engineer, Leadership Beyond the Management Track by Will Larson. 4. Resilient Management by Lara Hogan. Around the Web. A Pyramid-Shaped Career by Jack Danger. The Ultimate Resilience Playbook for Technology Leaders by CTO Craft. What Trump's Tariffs Mean for Tech, and You by Wired. Follow me on all socials. Erica Stanley on LinkedIn, at ericastanley.com on Blue Sky. Book Erica to speak. Don't miss the next issue of Code and Conscience. Subscribe to